Tonight's guest is Richard McCandlish.
Looking back on the life that you're leaving, let it rest in a hole in the ground. Stick around for the great revealing, or the fire you've been dancing around. All we hear is the sound of retreating. No one cares where you're coming from. My ears are still ringing and bleeding. I guess we all knew from the start. These are the days my heart goes numb. Yeah, one of these days will be the one. Looking for answers. What a disaster. These are the days my heart goes numb. My heart goes numb. Breathing the fumes of the ashes, the spirits light up the night, looking down the ashes.
We're live from the Untold Radio Network. It's Untold Radio AM with Monster Quest producer, host Doug Hajicek, and co-host Jeff Perrella Jr. Untold Radio AM is going live right now.
This show is for entertainment purposes only. Yep, that's the ticket. Now here are your Untold Radio AM hosts, Doug Hajicek and Jeff Perrella Jr.
Hello, hello.
Hey, welcome. Thanks everybody for waiting. Jeff was panicking.
I wasn't panicking. I was concerned. My camera quit working.
Concerned.
I think I got it working here.
That always happens, right?
It's
Before
like 5
you go
minutes
on
before
here.
show, and my camera just died on me. So I think I got it.
Yeah, you look good.
If I disappear, it's my camera.
You look good. You look good.
Thanks.
So anyhow, I hope everybody is doing well.
Yeah.
Welcome to Untold Radio AM, episode 308 from the Untold Radio studios in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis-ish.
Minneapolis-ish, north of Minneapolis-ish. And to those who care, we want to give a special hello to all of the Untoldians in chat. I hope everybody's staying cool and not melting. It was a hot one, 103.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I've kind of been an ugly few days.
I'm driving a black truck with a black interior, and man, does it get warm inside.
I bet. Ick.
That's bad. Oh, and then my granddaughter opened the, what do you call it? The shade on the sunroof.
Mm.
And so that was cooking.
Down in there? Yeah.
Couldn't even sit on the seat.
Yuck.
All right. So what do we got going on tonight? We have on deck, we have a retired Army vet, 50-year veteran of Bigfoot and paranormal research, Richard McCandlish.
Yep.
And he is from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Ohio's a hotspot.
Hotspot, big time.
I don't know why it is, but it is.
It is all
It's
the
like
time.
so Midwest there. It's so, it's like Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I go there, it's like, I feel like I'm home. So I don't know. But anyhow, so we'll have him on here soon. And it's like 117 degrees Fahrenheit in Vegas right now. Could you imagine?
No, thank you.
I lived down in Vegas for one summer, and I remember
Not the time of year to be there.
trying to touch a door handle, and just like you couldn't open it. You needed like a hot pad to open the door handle. That's what we need to make, hot pads for cars.
Yeah.
Yvette's mom, by the way, Yvette's mom has a hot pad on her house door handle because it faces the sun.
Yeah.
And it gets so hot, people burn their hand on the door handle.
Oh, good.
Anyhow, so I don't know. I don't really have anything to talk about special.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do.
The first picture is pretty cool.
Me and Joey saw something really weird.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
We were driving back. You know where we saw the knot deer?
Mm-hmm.
About there. We're driving. And now we see what we can only both call not birds.
Really?
A flock of, okay, how can I describe this without a picture? If you picture birds with their wings outspread, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the profile of them, but they're not flapping.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole flock of them, and they're darting every direction. And these birds are about a foot wide,
Mm-hmm.
wingtip to wingtip. They're not little birds.
Yeah, it's a good sized bird.
And they have like a silver band on the upper part of what would be like a fake wing. And there were 50 to 100. We didn't count them, but they darted out in front of our windshield and then kind of moved up towards a tree. But they were flying like crazy, like bats. But not one moved their wings. They just went side to side and up and down. Now, what the hell was that, Jeff?
You sure it wasn't drones of some sort?
Well, there was no propellers.
I don't know.
So how can a drone fly without propellers?
Maybe you just can see them. Who knows? That's weird. I don't know.
Well, yeah, maybe you couldn't see them. What would be that would be even weirder to me. If I saw a bunch of drones attack our truck, I would think that was even weirder than what we saw as not birds.
That would be unsettling. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just weird. So that's just like, Joe's like, every time we go somewhere, I'm like, yep. Well, I was telling about the last time me and Jeff went through there, we saw a knot deer.
Mm-hmm.
So there
That
you
was
go.
weird.
Yeah. So we'll start our night off with that weird thing. So you're going to want to lock your doors, pull those shades down, get cool, get a cool beverage like me.
Mm-hmm.
Clean diet root beer.
Plain old Anoka City water.
Yeah, right. Never mind. Is
All
there
right.
ice? Is there ice in there?
Nope. Just cold Anoka City water.
Oh, really? Okay.
I keep it in the fridge.
Okay. I believe you. Anyhow, so
Okay.
what was I gonna say? I don't know. So anyhow, yeah, lock your doors, get your comfy chair, get something cold to drink. And first, we do want to mention something coming soon, thanks to Jeff and a very generous listener that's giving us kickoff money to get this done. It is a challenge coin, numbered.
Yeah, really cool.
And we'll use them as giveaways. We will put them up in our merch store. And by the way, do you want to put up the unverified crap t-shirt?
Yeah, let me put up that link.
And
here.
we'll put up a link for you too. I know a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
people have been writing me saying, I want to get one of those. And they are really cool. There you go.
Yeah.
And we'll put a link there. There's a link right there in chat. And we'll put it in the show description too.
Yep.
So you'll have to hit the more button and then you can go. And there they are. See, you'll instantly turn into a good looking person if you wear the unverified crap t-shirt.
I need to make sure I get one of those. Those are cool. I love challenge coins.
Yeah.
The nuclear crap.
Well,
division,
I think we could spare one for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
We'll give you number 200.
I got to get one of those.
All right. Well, let's get into our weird. And by the way, yes, there is also other merch. A lot of people don't know there's merch you can get for
some cool stuff.
every show.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get anything from coffee cups to hats to whatever. And we do need the support. I always tell people, it's true, I haven't taken one. I've been doing that show 3 years. I've never taken one, not one penny.
All kinds of neat stuff there.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. You need a pair of leggings, Jeff. Untold Radio leggings. I could just see it.
Yeah,
Enough of that. Okay, I've teased you like 5 times, so I got to quit.
Time for some news?
Yeah, let's do the news.
Let's do some news.
It's time for weird and fast news. Yeah! It's time for weird and fast news.
All right, orcas are on the radar. Apparently, orcas are now exploding giant fish, possibly for fun. You would think they would eat them after they would explode them. Scientists documented orcas holding dead sunfish in position while another whale charged into them at high speed, smashing the huge fish into hundreds of pieces. The behavior might create bite-sized food for younger whales, or it's just simply an extremely messy orca game. What do you think?
I don't think they eat those. For some reason, I think those ocean sunfish are not very edible.
I think aren't they called moas?
Yeah, something like that.
And they just kind of float and drift, and they're just huge and massive. But orcas are weird. I mean, they're really intelligent, but they've been attacking boats for fun.
Yeah, I think their defense. One of the defense, they're because they're slow as heck. I think their defense mechanism is they don't taste very good.
Yeah, I don't think. I bet you orcas wouldn't taste very good either.
Probably not. Predators rarely do.
Next.
Moving on.
Speaking of fish, scientists discover a contagious, keyword contagious, cancer in catfish. So mysterious black growths appearing on bullheads and catfish in New England and Canada turned out to be melanoma cells that move between fish like parasites. That's kind of weird. It says it is the first time transmissible cancer has been discovered in freshwater animals. I don't know of any cancer that can be transmitted by humans.
That I'm aware, no.
Do you?
Only the fourth.
I gotta hit the root beer burp button. Hold on. I didn't really have to. It kind of felt like it, you know. You know when you drink root beer, you get the burps.
The burps? I do. I know
it's the dumbest thing you could drink on the air. It says it's about the contagious cancer. Yeah, it says researchers say it poses no threat or danger to people. Okay, I don't think I'd want to eat one.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. And next, we have a very strange little article. Crop-eating caterpillars may help destroy styrofoam. A caterpillar notorious for attacking corn, cotton, and soybean crops carries a fungi and bacteria capable of feeding on polystyrene foam. Scientists isolated 4 fungi from the insect's intestines that damage styrofoam in a laboratory test, although they still need to determine whether the plastic is completely broken down or merely turned into microplastics. What could go wrong here? Could you imagine if they do the genetic thing and then these things get loose and they breed and everything plastic starts getting eaten? You go grab something that's made of plastic and it's got chew marks on it.
No thanks.
Or holes in your record albums.
No thanks. That would hurt. Oh, that would suck, man, to lose my records.
Yeah. Did you know that there was a guy that came out of the jungle, the Amazonian jungle, and he had brought a bunch of CDs, you know, those, or DVDs and some CDs, you know, that like silver plating they put on them.
Mm-hmm.
There was some fungus in the jungle that started eating the aluminum.
Oh, wow.
And they determined this bacteria that was apparently hidden in the jungle can eat aluminum, which is normally toxic to every animal.
Mm-hmm.
And it has now gotten loose. Just saying.
That's not good.
It's gotten loose. So there you go. What could go wrong there?
What could go wrong?
All right, next. The mysterious gas bullets are racing through space.
Oh, wrong one. You skipped one.
Do you ever have mysterious gas bullets racing through your house?
No comment. Are you going to be okay?
I'm fine. Oh my God.
You having a gas bullet right now?
No. Oh, I think I've had one about to come up my throat. Astronomers found clumps of possible oxygen-rich gas traveling at up to 20 million miles per hour from V445 Pupae, the Milky Way's only confirmed helium nova. The system has been hidden behind its own dust for more than 20 years, and scientists still cannot explain how these incredibly fast gas bullets were produced. So now that's a new name for a fart, right? Gas bullet.
Gas bullet? Yeah.
So there, you heard it here, everybody. Look, if that's all you get out of tonight's show, you got that going for you. You can just use the term gas bullet.
Unverified crap and gas bullets. Why
Yeah,
not?
so that's all maybe that's all you'll learn tonight. The new term, gas bullets. All right. Then a Arctic squid mother was found raising eggs below freezing. So that's below 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
Researchers recorded the first wild footage of a mature Arctic bobtail squid beside her eggs in northeast Greenland. She was living 164 feet underwater at about 29 degrees Fahrenheit, proving these poorly understood squid can reproduce in one of the coldest and least explored marine environments on Earth. So there you go.
It's pretty strange.
But why would that bother them? I don't know.
Me neither.
Sometimes I wonder what's weird about these articles. Are they weird? I guess they are.
Kind of weird.
They're kind of weird. All right, the next one, I think it's our last one.
It is.
People are becoming tourists in a place that doesn't exist. It says researchers say a very creepy internet legend known as the back rooms has evolved into a form of digital tourism. Millions of people now explore its fictional yellow hallways through videos and games, maps, virtual reality, and homemade survival guides, collectively building and visiting an imaginary horror destination.
I mean, like a virtual space kind of thing.
I don't understand any of this.
Okay.
I mean, you're having a dumb guy read the news right now. Gee, I don't know.
Unverified crap.
It's just more unverified crap. Let's do our clip picks. I think they're all really quick tonight, but they're all
Don't
cool.
have too many. Let's play some clips.
Clip 1 sounded good. This is one big turtle, or it's completely unverified crap. It's
Vean
not
el
even real.
tremendo tamaño que tiene esta tortuga, amigos. Es la tortuga gigante de los Galápagos y es la tortuga terrestre más grande que hay en el mundo. Llegan a pesar hasta
What do you think,
350
Jeff? Big enough?
kilogramos.
That's
Vamos a
massive.
apartarnos para
think
que
that
ella
thing's
pueda
real?
seguir tranquilamente su camino. Pero
All
es uno
right,
de los
that's
animales.
enough. But those things can live up to 400 years, so maybe that's a
they're
real
pretty-
old one.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Those things are massive.
Could you imagine living 400 years? Do you remember those big tortoises at Como Zoo?
I never saw those. No.
You never did. Oh my God, I saw those when I was a little kid, and you could ride them. They let you ride them, and they just didn't care. And you'd sit on them, and they were just two of them, and you would just go there and do whatever you wanted to do. These poor tortoises.
No,
And
that's
they
pretty
were
cool.
there, and I remember taking my kids there, and they were still there. And I wonder if they're there anymore. Probably not.
I haven't been in the Como Zoo since I was a little kid. I don't remember that.
You don't remember the tortoise? That's right.
I've only was there once when I was a little kid.
That's because that was when you were a little kid was like 1992.
I was born in 72, so whatever.
I'm giving you, that was the 60s. All right, next. Clip 2, the sound is good. This is weird. No. Oh, never mind. This is another turtle clip. Speaking of turtles, go ahead and play this one.
Nobody talks about this, but turtles can actually breathe through their butt. Yep, it's real. I even had to look it up myself. It's called cloacal respiration. Sounds crazy, but it's an incredible survival mechanism. They have specialized sacs within their tail that allows them to absorb water and take that oxygen out of the water, giving them the ability to stay underwater for hours, even months during the wintertime. I think turtles probably have the strangest superpower out there. Reptiles, be weird.
All right, that's enough.
Gas bullets.
Can you? Wouldn't that be great if you could breathe your butt?
I can't think of a situation where I would need to do that.
Oh, it would be handy if you went swimming and then you were upside down.
I
Head
guess.
down, tail up. You could breathe your butt. All right, clip 2. This is neat. This is lightning in a bottle, and it's apparently mercury in a vacuum with neon gas. No electricity, but this is what it does when you shake it. And of course, mercury is highly toxic.
So impressive. I'm shocked it works this well. Would have never guessed that. Oh, look, the mercury gets caught in the top and it falls out.
Isn't that cool, Jeff?
Really cool.
Wow, this is one of the coolest things I've ever made.
Don't make it at home.
Yeah, mercury is not good for you.
No, it's extremely toxic. But I used to play with it when I was a kid.
It's pretty
I
cool
had
stuff.
bottles of it. Oh my God.
Didn't know any better.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Dad, I got some more mercury. Oh, have fun. Okay.
You didn't know.
Now, if that happened and you dropped it, they would call that hazmat crew.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Clip 4. The sound is good. Apparently, there's a big invasion of these.
That clip did not come through.
It didn't. Oh, that's okay.
Nope, I didn't get that one. This is the bear one.
Well, let's skip to the bear in the air.
I bet everybody's seen this one by now. This is pretty cool.
Well, it
I
is
don't know how
cool.
the heck this happened.
But is this real? That's my question. Bear
I
in
think
the
it
air.
is. I'm pretty sure it is.
I know. I'm on Highway 56.
Are you calling about a bear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you calling about a bear?
Yes, it's on the tower pole.
Yeah, it's alive.
Yes. Just leave it.
Okay.
And because I already called the Game and Fish, and they said there's nothing that they could do. They could go and shoot it, like tranquilize it to get it down, but
It would just fall.
it's gonna
Right.
end up.
Or
If
die.
they do that, then it's gonna fall and could hurt itself. So
Okay.
they told me that.
Well, I've seen them do. They bring nets out and they let it fall into a trampoline.
Yeah,
And then
I've seen
sometimes
that
they
too.
bounce out of the trampoline. I've seen that too.
Mhm.
They got one in my neighborhood that was bothering people, and they used a trampoline, and it bounced out and landed on the ground anyhow. All right, clip 6.
Last one.
It's the last one. It's good sound. This is kind of interesting because we're going to have a 12-meter tall object. It's about to crash into the moon at 8,000 miles an hour, or 8,000 kilometers an hour. Go ahead.
Something is about to crash into the moon. Astronomers are tracking this object. It's about 12 meters tall, which is like a 4-story building, and 4 meters wide as it approaches the moon. We know what it is. It is the 4,000-kilogram upper stage of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, and it has been drifting through space for the past year and a half after it launched 2 missions towards the moon. Over 680 Falcon 9 rockets have been launched. Most of these upper stages have either re-entered Earth's atmosphere or are also still in
All right,
space,
stop
orbiting
the-
close to Earth.
stop
But after
the
this
clip.
one completed its
680 launches of that rocket?
Yeah,
That's insane.
He's been busy.
Holy moly, those are big.
Yeah.
I can't even comprehend it. All right, weird fact of the week.
Weird fact
It's
of
your
the week.
favorite bumper, isn't it?
It is. I like this one.
It's now time for Untold Radio Weird Fact of the Week. That is kind of weird.
Hello, Jeff.
Yeah.
We're about to go into Weird Fact of the Week, but I want to let everybody know Richard is in the back room.
Yep.
Hello, Richard.
Backstage, he's ready to go.
We're gonna get to you soon. All right. So, Weird Fact of the Week. Some people may or may not know this, but octopuses have 3 hearts. They have blue blood because it's copper based, not iron based. And they have 2 hearts. One pumps blood to the gills, and one pumps blood to the body.
I'm pretty sure they're aliens.
Yeah, I think so.
They're not related to anything else. They are bizarre.
You know what the weirdest part of the Weird Fact of the Week is? This beautiful artwork.
Hand drawn.
Hand drawn. Hand drawn by North American fairy artists.
Yeah.
They were little tiny creatures drew those. All right.
Anyways, enough of that crap.
Yeah, enough of that crap. So we want to do we want to do a little bit of audience trivia or not? Should we get Richard on? Maybe we should just get Richard on.
Just get Richard on? Yeah, we can save the trivia.
And if we have any time, we will do that. What could we give away in a knot contest? I know, another unverified crap t-shirt. So we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that. Maybe even Richard will play.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right. So let me probably call for a quick break.
Okay.
We'll introduce him. So let's
right.
take a real quick break.
All right. Quick couple ads here. We'll be right back.
Phantom Grizzly offers an insider's view into the hidden world of bears, brimming with revelatory insights from a lifetime devoted to understanding them. Come face to face with bears through the eyes of an expert striving to transform our relationship with nature's most awe-inspiring inhabitants. If you're ready to venture far beyond the ordinary, to glimpse the wonder of bears in a whole new light, then this powerful book is waiting. Phantom Grizzly launches the 3-book Bear Communicator series, chronicling Dr. Stephen Stringham's extraordinary journey from fearful encounters to becoming one of North America's foremost bear researchers. Get the entire Phantom Grizzly set with Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3 right now. Only from Hangar One Publishing and Amazon. If you're ready to have the curtain pulled back on the greatest mysteries of our world, the answers you've been searching for await you in the pages of Planet Strange, a brand new book from acclaimed author Tom Powell. What if everything you thought you knew about Earth and humanity's history was wrong? In Planet Strange, renegade researcher Tom Powell boldly challenges conventional wisdom to unravel the shocking truths hidden beneath the surface of our world. Planet Strange takes you on a thrilling journey through ancient sites, lost civilizations, and clandestine government projects to expose secrets that some would go to any length to protect. From crop circles that reveal important messages from an advanced cosmic intelligence, and explore the strange physics behind the Bermuda Triangle's vanishing ships and planes. The secrets of the sacred mounds, underground tunnels, UFO sightings, and cattle mutilations are explored. Learn why the moon's origins may be far more sinister than we ever imagined, and so much more. Also revealed is a mind-blowing unified theory of the profound alien influence that is still at work on our planet today. Get your copy of Planet Strange right now, directly from Hangar One Publishing, or grab a copy from Amazon or Barnes & Noble online today. You'll never look at humanity's place in the cosmos the same way again.
And we are back. Well, one of us is back.
I'm back.
There he is.
I'm just hidden. Should we let's throw up the info on the New York Bigfoot conference? And before we bring Richard on.
I don't have that super
Oh.
handy. Give me 1 second here.
Oh, that's fine. So let me talk about Richard. Oh, there you go. Just let people know. Please get your tickets. I will be there. We've got Darby Orcutt, Ken Gerhardt, Lauren Coleman. We've got Maria Mayer from Expedition Bigfoot, myself, Adam Davies, and then Town Hall host Steve Calls.
Yep. Should be a good show.
It should be really good. And so that's October 2nd is like free.
Mm-hmm.
But your ticket will get you in for the speakers October 3rd. And come and hang out in beautiful Gloversville, Johnstown, Gloversville.
Yeah, should be a good
Call it
convention.
in. Yeah, there's a barcode there, or a QR code, and you can scan it. You can rewind it and scan it. Yeah, what do we got here? Okay, Richard McCandlish is a 63-year-old disabled veteran, and he served in the Army for 6 years before being honorably discharged. McCandlish is a retired percussionist. I think they mean drummer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who played with many stars on tour. We'll have to get into that a little bit.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
wrote music for Atlantic Records, which has been put on hold. Richard enjoys catfishing, metal detecting, and being in the woods when he's not riding his Harley.
Nice.
With his wife, Diana. McCandlish has been researching Bigfoot and other paranormal entities for over 50 years. And I think me and Joe saw some of those weird entities. I don't know what the hell we saw. What category would you put that in, Jeff? Birds that don't look like birds and don't flap.
High
their-
strangeness.
I guess. I don't know what it is. But anyhow, let's welcome Richard.
Yeah, welcome, Richard. There he is. Hey,
Hello.
good to see you.
How are you
Good to
doing,
see you.
Richard?
Oh, pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. It's good to meet you.
Yes. It's nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, no, you're in Ohio. What part of Ohio are you in?
Southeastern.
Southeastern, okay.
Yeah.
And is that more mountainous? Is that more flat?
Well, we got the bottom part of the Appalachian Mountains down here, the Hocking County, where Old Man's Cave is, and
Gotcha.
so that's all that.
Now you've obviously you've been doing this a long time, longer than me. How did you get into it, and what happened? What caused the kind of life devotion to this topic?
What
was the incident?
It started with my our new neighbors that moved in across the street from us.
Okay.
And that was back in 1972. And his name was Rusty. And he was like 5-6 years older than me at the time. And he said, he came over as we've been friends, and he said, "Hey, I want you to come and listen to something." I said, "Okay." And so we got on the railroad tracks, and we were walking, and we got up to the bridge. And he goes, "Now we got to climb up over the bridge and get out there on this big sandstone pillar that the bridge is sitting on, and we just got to sit here at this creek and listen." I said, "Okay." And so we were sitting there for an hour, 2 hours, 3, and I said, "Hey, man," I said, what's, he's like, "Man, just be quiet and listen." I said, "Okay." Your butt's feeling like lead, And then about that time, you heard this bunch of trees breaking in the distance up the creek, and then a giant splash. Sounded like a cow was, jumped in it or something. But for the longest time, we couldn't figure out. It didn't happen all the time. It just happened every now and then. He said, "That thing's out there. Come and listen. We're going to listen to it again." And it would come back. and we didn't know what it was. But then we was working at the feed mill at the time, and our pay was, a bottle of pop and a bag of peanuts at the end of the day. And we'd go to the old mill and hear these old men, tell their stories and cackling and stuff. And that one old gentleman said, "Hey, Clarence, is that old Howler up your way?" Yeah. And we kept thinking to ourselves, like, Howler? What's some kind of a mad dog or something? And we didn't know at the time, but things unfolded as what I know now, what I didn't know then. Things just kind of fell into place because down the road I couldn't figure out what that splashing sound was. And then moved to 1975, and my buddy Rusty said, "Hey, you got to come and check this place out," because he hung around with some other friends that were older than me, and when he got done with them, he'd come over and we'd go hang out. And he said, "This place is close to Logan." I'm like, "What?" Because we had to ride our bicycles out there, and and it's like 12 miles outside of the town from there. And on one of the roads that are listed on the Guinness Book of World Records, it's taken more lives than the real Dead Man's Curve. And we're riding bicycles on this, going to this place that him and his friends called the Pit. Yeah. And it borders between one of the three counties that I investigate, research, and which is Perry County, Fairfield County, and Hawking County, Ohio. And one day I was out there by myself, and that was in 1975 at the age of 13. And that's what I saw for the first time in my life. It just scared me to death. I saw the back end when I climbed down to the creek and came up this like a jacuzzi like pool above these where the two giant where the two waterfalls is down here. And when I was climbing down in, I started to climb up to the top, and when my eyes kept the falls across the top, I saw it right across the falls from me. It had to have been like an alpha male because this thing was giant. I only saw the back of him, but it was a Bigfoot, and I just froze. I didn't, at the time, I was like, I didn't know what it was, some kind of beast that was standing on the other side of the falls, but it was looking away from me. And what I know now, what I didn't know then, was they knew I was there, or it knew I was there. But I just, throughout the years, I just had to see this thing again. I didn't care what it cost me. But I never told anybody. I never told any of my other friends. Even when I was in school, I never told anybody what was going on. And then when I got out of school, even when I went to the military, I never told anybody in the military. And then when I came back, I was on the trail again. And it's cost me dear friendships, and it's cost me my first marriage, and it's cost me more friendships. And it's like, well, what's it going to take, to satisfy, me, my personal self, to start, like I said, I never really meant for this stuff to be out in the public, Doug. This wasn't for the public. This is just for me and my friends, and personally. And a picture leaked out, and I guess they wanted me to prove myself. I don't have nothing to prove. It was a hobby of mine that I did with my friend Rusty, and things just, how things are, spiraled out of control. And like a dog broke off a chain out like a tri-state dog. I didn't come back. I just had to see this thing, and then. But when I'm trying to find this Bigfoot critter, I'm running into other things out there. Call them cryptids. Call them what you want. I've seen some things that I just can't. I don't have any answers for, and I've had not just me and my personal self. I have witnessed things so much, Doug and Jeff, that I've actually had people come out and witness these things, and I even hired a skeptic on my team, David Levering, just to because I take my stuff out to these Bigfoot festival things, whatever. But I don't have anything for sale on my booth. The people come up and they go, well, how much is that track for sale? And I was like, I'm not here to sell anything, buddy. And they're like, well, what is your stand? I go, this is my hobby. And this is what is out here in our national forest. Believe it or not. I'm not here to make you believe. It's just, this is what's in your backyard. You tell me what you think you're looking at. And because a couple of the 2 or 3 of these things are not fruit, nut, and berry eaters. You can look at that. You've seen the tracks. They're a predator stalker, meat eater. And I just, like I said, and then just one thing led to another. And then when I found out that's what that big splash was down the road, that's where the Bigfoot was fishing. And that's how I knew down the road, trying to find this critter, because I was tracking down through the years on the hill, the mountaintops. I followed him up there, following Wood Talk all the way down to the flats. Now I'm down to the creeks. He's running the creeks. And that's what told me, to look for. And
have you experienced entire trees coming down near you in the forest?
Not whole trees. I mean, I've heard the big giant snap breaks.
Okay.
And not the big thump of the piece landing. You hear a big loud crack and no big thump. And then you hear it like he's running, or going off in the woods with it. And then drops it or whatever, just takes off. And but no, that's how going back to that one part of us where that's how I could tell that he was fishing, because when we got in the creek and went over there to where he was at, a few days later, you could look up on the bank and see shiny little minnows, dried minnows, hundreds of them.
Oh,
that's what he was doing. That's how we could tell. When you're walking the creeks and look up, you can see like just one section where like a tidal wave had hit it, and you can see little sparklies up there, dried minnows. And I'm like, yep, he was fishing right here. And,
well, what do you think they're doing? Can you explain what you think or how they fish? What would be your guess? What's their method?
Doug, I've seen a few things in the creek. I've seen it to where they've had a log up. I've seen 3 logs in one area where they've had one log up there to where they diverted the water, and they brought 2 other logs in and had a big hole at the very tip of it to where they were in a V. And I've walked into it to where a couple of times I'm like, ooh, that's full of crayfish and minnows, and it's just filled to the brim. And that told me I came onto another Bigfoot feeding place where he's catching fish. And then the other part, like I said, is where they'll walk up along the side of a creek and looking for spools of fish, and then they just jump in, cause a big tidal wave, and splash up on the bank, and you can see he'll just pick what he wants, and then there's a ton of those little minnows left. They die up there, and you can see the sparklies up on the banks.
So they use like a displacement method. They just leap in. So if you took like a bowl of water and put Cheerios in there, and they just kind of bang, and they the stuff overflows out of the sides and like minnows and small fish.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I guess that might be really effective in a small creek like that.
Yeah, they're and that's what I'm teaching my other partner, Larry Ramsey. He's my second-hand man. He's the one I'm training, and he's doing really good. I really appreciate him and what he does and coming down, and also David Levering as being a skeptic too. And but
somebody called it a Sasquatch tsunami. Eric did.
Yeah. And,
that's interesting. That really is. I'm thinking about it. I can get a picture of it, I guess. What's interesting is we had a guy on, Richard, that says he was walking by a small pond in the night. He wanted to test his bike out, and he gets near the pond with his bike, and he hears a big gadoosh, like a depth charge, kind of like you described. And then he got curious and laid his bike up against a tree, thinking he's going to try to see a beaver or something. And he sees a big rock flying at him, a huge rock. He said it was like massive, like 3 feet, 2 feet, 2.5, and it just landed near him with a big gadoosh. So maybe that Bigfoot was fishing.
Yeah.
I could see that would work even with a rock, a huge rock.
I don't, I mentioned this also to another friend of mine. We just became friends. We didn't know each other at the time, but his name's Kane Michaels down here in Hawking. And he called me one day and he said, Richard, is there anything that I could amp up the activity here at my place? Because he's got Bigfoot activity over there big time. And I said, yeah, well, I'm looking at your property and looking down here at your pond and everything. I said, yeah, there's probably one other thing you could do. And he said, what's that? And I go, he had 2 of these half sunken boats over there by this tree in his pond. And I said, get them out of there and get them away from that tree over there. And he's like, why? I said, because I seen spawning pools over there of tadpoles. And he said, okay, well, what? And I go, well, I said, I'm telling you, down here where this is at, I said, watch, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bigfoot you wake up in the morning, some morning, and you look down there and there'd be a big branch broke off your tree down there. It's where he had taken that branch with the whole leaves on it and shoved it down in his pond right there and rolled it like cotton candy, all that frog larvae and all the tadpoles, and pulled it back up and started eating it. And sure enough, within a week later, he called and said, Richard, he said, that's what exactly. There's a big branch broke off my tree, and there's a frog larva all over there on the side of the pond down there. Said, well,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would imagine we haven't even considered all of the different foods that they would go after. Since we're talking about food, is there any other foods that are kind of odd that we wouldn't think of that you've noticed?
Well, here's another one. It has really bugged me for the longest time, Doug. I was in this area and I saw it was like a Bigfoot youth. It was standing out there by the edge of this cornfield. I thought it looked like it was sick or something. It just kind of stood there for a minute and just kind of lumbered around and just, went down. And what I didn't know, I think he just took a nap, but he came out of there and he went right beside this wild mustard patch. Right beside the cornfield, there was a little patch of wild mustard there. He wasn't eating it. He picked it up and he put it into his mouth and no, like I was sucking on it, and he threw it down and everything. And I'm like, well, what's the attributes for wild mustard? I was thinking, what if he's not eating it? So what's the attributes on it? And
right.
They said it's off the charts on all vitamins, minerals, and everything else like that. And I said, yeah, I know that. But I said, but it's not. He's not eating it. And then years later, I found out it was it's the aphids lay their eggs underneath the leaves of the wild mustard plant. And I thought, what? Now, what's the attributes of the aphid eggs, and it contributes to stomach problems.
Okay.
It cures stomach, anything with the intestinal.
Okay.
Just as like, you see a bunch of horehound roots tore up. Or they're using that.
Well, yeah, and even mustard alone has got a lot of properties, even anti-cancer properties. And,
yes.
It's interesting. Immuno help. But did you actually find like the leaves on the ground too, and the stems?
Yeah, he just pulled up a whole shoot, shoot from the roots up, and he just take that right down from the root, and he just like no. He just suck on it all the way to the end. He just toss it down, and he was sucking the eggs off the bottom of the leaf.
So it was just like wet and pushed down, more like.
Yeah.
It wasn't chewed. It was just sucked off. Oh,
sucked
really?
Down, just suck the eggs right off the leaves, right off that thing, just tossing it down.
Well, what does it feel? What does it feel like when you find something odd? Because what other animal would just suck mustard shoots?
Yeah,
seems like odd. I can't picture any other animal doing that.
Well, another thing they do too is I've noticed where you don't see no tracks or you don't see anything. Well, it's hard to find the tracks, but to know where he's been, right when the cattails, all right, their peak ripeness,
right,
where your cone cotton, I call it your cork, is real tight and hard, and the shoots are dark green. Some of them are really dark green. Well, he'll get in the pond down there, and he'll just they snap off the just certain, just like a dog when you let him loose in the yard, he'll go over and he won't eat all the grass. He'll eat only certain shoots of grass for his stomach. Well, they snap off just certain green shoots that's way out there, not up close to the edge of the pond. It's out further, because that way that, deer didn't go clear out there to eat the cattails out there, way out there. That's too deep. So notice the Bigfoot walking through, and there ain't really a lot of food there, fish there, really a lot of. They'll snap off the green tips, tall pieces. They just snap it off and eat it. And
what maturity level were those cattail tips? Are they? They haven't seeded yet, right? This is pre-seeding.
Yes, where they're like a black and like a dark burgundy color, and real tight, and you'll see it's dark green shoots before they turn brown at the tips.
Yeah, I've picked them a few times and eaten them. Yeah, fried them like in butter in a pan, and they're actually taste kind of like a little oniony, kind of like a potato, sort of starchy.
Yeah, the pioneer mashed potatoes, what they call it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And man, is there an endless supply of cattails where these creatures hang out?
Yes.
Just endless. And I always wondered, people would say, well, why do they show up, in Minnesota in the spring? I said, to me, the first thing up is the cattails. Mm-hmm. And they're delicious and highly nutritious. Maybe they come up to feast on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What time of year was that for you guys? What time of year?
That's just the beginning of July, actually. Here, where the cattails are tight in bloom right now, just the beginning of July right now.
Okay, I guess I never paid attention as to when they look like that. Okay, I gotta start like trying to pin down when in Minnesota they're edible.
I'm not good at that either.
I remember me and my daughter, we went out and we harvested a bunch and we cooked them up, and we liked them. We actually ate everything we harvested. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, what else? Obviously, I think you're one of the few researchers I've run into that, other than like Dr. Russ Jones, does a lot of noticing of things, details like you have, Richard. Yeah. I like your details. Anything else that comes to mind that you found, like, that could be a food source, or that you've wondered about?
I've seen and I've heard a lot of things out there. One of the things is I've ran across where it was weird. Again, this was at another gentleman's house, Kane's house, and I told him we're walking, and I told him, I said, "Hey, stop." He's like, "What?" And I said, "What's that over there?" He said, "What?" He's like, "We're looking up into the pine groves up there." And he goes, "What? A piece of bark?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that piece of bark." And they're like, "Well, what about it? It's a piece of bark up there in the pine." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "But that's oak. What's oak doing out here in the middle of pine?" And they came walk there, and he lifted it up, and there's a 17-inch track underneath it. It put that piece of bark over its track to hide it.
Oh.
And I've told, a few people out there, I go, when you're looking at certain structures, I mean, you got to look at Mother Nature too. Mother Nature likes to play a lot of tricks, and what I call wood talk. That's the stick language of the Bigfoot that I try to follow. It's not out there all the time. It's not just you see it all the time. It's directional, and it's a directional thing, and it's also like a picture graph. What they use in traveling, how they let when the male goes through and then the female and the little one follow. I call it stick or wood talk, and it's the
like glyphs or whatever.
Yeah, they're symbols that they put on the ground.
Yep.
And then there's mid talk up where your eyes are at.
Well, what have you noticed? What do you think? What do you think's being communicated with those glyphs?
Well, they're like I said, when you're out in the forest and you see, like for instance, you see the X. Everybody sees the X. It means stay out, whatever. But there's other ones that are only about 5 foot tall, and when you see those, usually it'll have the X and it'll have a stick leaning in the front of it, and that's usually the Bigfoot's sign to tell the human person, the stick is warning to the stick walker, backpacker, hiker to stay on the trail. That's what that symbol means, and usually when you find an A symbol with a stick laid up across the top, or usually a big stick or a log laid across the top out in the forest somewhere, it usually means good cover. They like it, so it means good cover. And that's what I've.
So, are they communicating then to their family members or?
Yes, and to other ones too.
Do you think they hang in a real loose group, like they could be a mile apart? Do you think they actually are together at times, like only at night? Do you think they spread out? Do you think they eat together? What are your thoughts?
What I've noticed here, Doug, this is here in the 3 counties that I've done in 50 years. I don't know what they do anywhere else, but I know here there's usually 3 families, 3 males, 3 females, and usually they're young with them. It's usually in the young within those 3 families. There's 2 males and 1 female, because when they're growing up, being in that family unit, one of those males growing up is going to claim that female, and they don't do it in a struggle or fight or anything like that. What I've seen and what I've heard was they claim their female in the test of strength and power. Like go up there and I can knock this tree down. Well, I can't do that. Well, their strength is biblical.
We're gonna talk about their strength too.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling you've experienced it somehow.
Oh yeah.
on a personal level. So I love how you kind of have a 3D handle on family members, right? In these groups. How did you kind of come to that conclusion? And I'm not doubting you at all, Richard. I'm not doubting you one little bit. I'm just want you to pass on information.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I wish, I've been saying this for the longest time, if real researchers, Doug, would get together and show just whoever the top person is in that group, don't have to show the whole group, or just if the real researchers would show their information on their sightings, whatever, then you're going to see a correlation, because I proved that. I proved that with another individual.
Yeah, because I just have a feeling that there's going to be other people who are going to hear some of your theories and ideas and things you've noticed through the years. 50 years is a half a century. You've been doing this. People need to listen to you. You're not like some
expert. I'm not no expert, and I'm not no.
No. I realize, but you've got 50 years of experience, right? Yeah. I don't think there's any experts, but you've noticed things that you can share, and other people can connect their own dots and go, "Damn it, I saw so." You know what I mean? I saw that too one time, and then you two can hook up and compare notes and so on. That's like, I agree. We all need to communicate way more.
Yeah, because the public, there's more questions than there's evidence, but the evidence is there. It might be in somebody's house or somebody, a lot of people won't come out and talk about things. But if some would come out, and just show the researchers their evidence or talk about it, then we can answer some of these questions that people have. Just like when me and Kane first got together, we didn't know anybody from Adam. And I told him, I said, if you just show me your map, just show me your map. And when we got together and we put our maps together, it was only like a 16th of an inch off of the route of travel between my 3 counties and his 3 counties. Where I stopped, he stopped. And it was lined up right there, just like that. You wouldn't believe the correlation.
Okay, somebody just wrote, I just put it up. He said, nobody can put this puzzle together alone.
Yeah.
No.
That's some really good wisdom.
It's a good insight. Yep.
Because there's just too much now anymore. Back in the 70s, you don't know this, Doug and Jeff. Back in that time period, in these towns, rural towns, it was like a forest. It was a forest everywhere. You was in a forest before you got to the national forest. In these little towns you drive into, it was like driving into a tunnel. And now it's like, well, welcome to bald America. It's everything is, there ain't no shade or anywhere. You go into these towns, it's wide open fields, and a lot of these farm fields are abandoned now. What used to be lush forest that headed out of Old Man's Cave area, it went into these rural towns. It was always, but now they just sold 2,700 acres to the oil and gas rights people, and now they're going to be fracking out here in the national forest. It's like that's not.
Yeah, that stuff hurts to see. I agree. They just tore down a huge forest near me that I did research in, and it just bulldozed it all down.
Oh, wow.
And of course, they never consult with anybody. You see, I love it. You see the for sale sign going up usually, X amount of acres for sale. And I've even called to try to buy some of these areas and maybe get a bunch of people together to save them. And they're always like, no, that's slated for blah, blah, blah. They already have made their mind up. And, they don't want to sell it. They want to develop it. Big difference.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They want to continue to make money. They don't want to just sell it where they don't continue to make money on it. They want to sell it and make money on it long into the future. So they're not selling it to any conservation groups. It's not going to happen. Yeah, data centers and all sorts of crap. But a lot of these like strip malls, these developers build and then they want to rent them out. And so they'll continue to make money. Yeah. Anyhow, long story. we changed the subject. I was asking you whether you had noticed anything else, and I hate to catch you off guard on this.
Okay.
But have you noticed anything else, Richard, on food like meat, deer, how they would kill deer, or do they eat? Have you noticed that they're not eating as much meat? I mean, what have you just their diet? Where does your brain go after 50 years?
Well, I had, there was one freaky incident, but there was one incident that I was on this knoll, and I saw, it looked like from where I was at, it looked like a mid-youth or so. It might have been bigger, but I was looking at him across from this mountain range over here over to another one, and he was looking at something on the other side.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, what's he looking? And then all of a sudden, when he took off, it was like he ran through the mountain. I mean, over the knoll type, but it didn't look like he ran over the knoll. It looked like he went through the knoll. And I don't know how to explain it. I went, oh man, well, I was like lightning speed. And I'm like, what did he see? And I kept looking down where he would be coming out, down at the bottom, off to the left of me. And then I caught something way off to the right, and there he was going. He had a deer. He got a deer, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could have saw him take that deer down. You didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear anything, not a noise, a peep, or a squeal, or nothing. And next thing you know, off he goes. He's already gone down the road, already taken off. And then the other incident was, I was at the pit, and I walked. It was in the little pines past one of the balls. I'm in this pine little thicket, and there was 3 deer hides. I mean, there was blood all around the trees in this little area, blood everywhere, and the pelts were ripped. There's 3 pelts ripped off and thrown in this little area right there, and there's in the pine grove there.
Wow.
And there was no meat, there was no deer, no bone, no none, but just something that ripped the hides off of 3 deer. And what would do that?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a lot to pack out for. If it was a poacher, they're going to take something, but they're going to leave. They're not going to carry the bones away, and they're not going to carry all that. And one of the
thing.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say the other thing was, you've seen where somebody's cleaned a deer, or even if a poacher was there, where he's dressed a deer. I ran across a dress out to where this was in the morning. It looked fresh, like something just killed it. But if you go up and touch it, all the innards was frozen solid. Okay. What was left there was the heart, the liver, the lungs, the intestines, and the brain was set out on the side. And there was a section about this long of its spine, the deer's spine, where it was eaten down, mauled down. The points on it was mauled down to looked like a rounded corn cob.
Like they're taking the backstrap.
Yeah.
Which is obviously one of the best cuts.
Yeah.
The best meat.
But I don't understand for the brains being out there.
That's really weird. And there was no skull anywhere nearby. No skull, right?
There was nothing there, just except for he just dressed that deer, just all the guts and innards are there. But the brain was there, the heart, the liver, the lungs, it was all there. And why? I don't understand.
What was the head of the deer there, Richard? The actual, was the deer skull there?
No, there was nothing there. There was nothing there.
Not there. Okay.
Just except for the innards, and like I said, and its brains was there, and a section of its spine that was eaten down like a corn cob.
Jeez, that's weird.
Yeah. I like what did that?
Have you ever examined their, like if you do find a dead deer, their legs to see if they've been twisted or broken or, I don't know. Obviously, you've heard Matt Moneymaker's stories of finding deer without the liver, piles of deer, with twisted legs, where the legs are broken, but yet just the liver is gone.
Wow. No, I haven't heard that.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. That goes way back to Matt's early days when he was living in Ohio.
Okay.
And I've taken calls from like DNR people that go, why would there be a pile of deer with the legs broken? Legs twisted and broken. And I always thought, well, if you were going to have nature's refrigerator, you would take a deer, you would, break its legs, capture it, and make it immobile, but keep it alive.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. It's horrific, but it makes sense to me. It does. So I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts on deer, but boy, that's a weird story you just told.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen in the forest, since it says some weird stuff, but I've seen deer bone out in the middle of nowhere, licked clean, white land, laid out on a log. One piece after another, just laid out nice and pretty, right on a log. And like, I don't know.
I mean, what would do that? That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like a time where I went on that, one of the scariest moments that I've had was where I went on that the call. They called and said I was the closest one to go to it, and I went out to this gentleman's house in Moxahala, Ohio, and when I got there, this 80-year-old man, he comes out, and he says, "You're the Bigfoot feller to come to check this out for me, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, that'd be me." And he said, I want you to come in the house." I was hoping to go down to the farm part, take a look around, and nope, he wanted me to come in the house, and he said, "Come around here." He'd come over here. So I said, "Now you look out. You see out this window right here?" He said, "Look down there. You see that corn crib?" He said, "That thing was bigger than the corn crib that walked by." He said, "I just wanted you to see from in here where I was standing to see where that thing went by." And I said, "Okay." So we went down there, and I said, "You don't got no farm animals?" He said, "No, my wife we got rid of them a long while ago when my wife passed away." And I said, "Well, there ain't really much here." I said, "You ain't got nothing here. Ain't no farm animals. There ain't nothing in the corn crib, nothing in the barn." And he kept saying, "Was this thing gonna come back?" Or I said, "No, I don't think so. I think he's just coming through here and he's looking for a little snack. He was just passing by." I said, "He probably spent the night in your barn down there, probably." And he said, "You sure?" And I said, "Well, I ain't sure about anything, but I said, you'd see if he'd been here, a constant coming through, whatever." I said, "But no, there's nothing here." He said, "Well, okay." And we got walking back up to the house, and this other gentleman came in and pulled up, and he said, "So you telling about your monster?" And he said, "Well, why don't you tell him what you got?" And I said, "Oh, you got something too?" And he said, "Well, I got something." And he said, "Matter of fact, he's been up there for a couple of days now. I think he's still there." And I go, "Really?" And what was weird, Doug and Jeff, was the old man, I asked him what that critter looked like, and he said it was big and black and long and clumpety hair. And I said, "That's the Bigfoot." And then when the other guy said, he said, "Oh, it's back there." He said, "All the cows are up here at the barn, all getting radical and everything." He said, "This thing sounded like an old siren out there." And I went, "Oh, what?" Wait a minute. I said, "Well, he's got a Bigfoot, and you got a howler." And I said, okay, well, and this is right here at the end of January, going into February, freezing rain. And I went out, and no kidding, Doug and Jeff, I was in a ghillie suit, freezing rain, and I'm laying there. I got the camera in my crotch sticking out, and 10 feet in front of me, there's an 8-foot drop-off ledger that goes way down the side of this mountain, way down into that farmhouse. And I'm laying there, and about 7:10 in the morning, I hear that old hound dog down there beller, way down here. You can hear him. And next thing you know, I could hear him coming. I heard it coming. I'm going, oh, what kind of luck am I getting now? My heart's racing. I'm like, here he comes. I'm going to get the best footage ever. Look at this. He's going to walk right in front of me because he has to come around that ledger and go down the hill that way. And when I was straining my eyes, I almost got, like a headache trying to stare to the right to see him come into view. And when I did, I about got sick to my stomach. Because I'm like, you're not the Bigfoot. I'm taking it fine. I'm looking at it like, what are you? But I know what he is. He's what they called back in the day where they said that he had knocked this. It wasn't a Bigfoot. They said it was a multicolored man beast that jumped off this hill and knocked these people off the covered wagon at this one time. And they was taking rocks, throwing it, beating it to get it off these people. And they said, no, it wasn't a Bigfoot. Well, it's standing right in front of me. It's stopped right in front of me, Doug. And he's not looking at me. He's looking down there where that old farmhouse is, where that hound dog bellered. And the weirdest thing I kept saying to myself, what is that sound? I'm looking at the side of his face. I'm like, what is that sound? And it was like a hissing sound. And I just kept looking at him. I'm trying to squint my eyeballs to try to get some eyeball feature, but his eye socket set back too far. I couldn't see his eyes. But I saw his lip move. He was sucking the air. He was tasting the air, Doug. He was going, and I was like, man, I hope he's not trying to taste me, because this thing is known for attacking people. So I'm like, I'm 10 feet from him. I'm like, oh my Lord. Never been so scared in my life. I thought, oh man, here comes the milk carton. I said, because if I got the drop on him, what's he going to do? He's going to stand right there. He can just reach out and grab me, probably. But I know he's every bit 4 foot above where the camera was aiming at him. So that puts him back to 12 foot. That was quite something. And I sent you guys the picture, I think, of that. That's off a live video. And 10 feet in front of me. He stood there for about almost 3 hours. He burnt the tape up, just like a stone statue. When he heard that dog and he came up and he stopped right in front of me and he just tasted the air.
Jeff, you're welcome to put anything up.
My heart was just racing. I just don't.
Is that,
like I said, the tracks. Like I said, the tracks that I've seen out in the field.
No, I don't.
Now that right there, Doug, right there, I don't know what these are either. His face slopes down like a camel, like in the front, like weird. And he's got these 2 little ears and a pointed little head. But the one behind him, when they went by me, it didn't even look at me. It stayed its focus on the back of that one that was in front of it. And it like looking at me as it went by, it's like, okay, if you're not going to do anything, I'm not going to do anything. And that was in the wintertime right there. I was in a little dugout with a little flip phone. There he comes. They come right up that trail, and he's just staring. He's looking at me. The front one just would not take his eyes off of me. But the one behind it, he didn't care if I was there or nothing. He just kept walking.
Well, how big are those 2 black blobs? How big are those?
Like about 8.5 feet tall. Yep.
And then I got this one here.
And there's the howler. There's that thing right there. You can see his nose, his mouth, his deep eye sockets. You can see the circle pits of his nose. On the back, how big his head is. His hair, you don't see his shoulders. His hair just went right over his shoulders, just like a mop would hang over. But like I said, the weirdest. Like I said, I've never seen anything like him. And his hair, fur, hair, whatever you call it, He had a dark clay face and these ears on the side, but he had a dark clay face, and but his hair or fur, whatever, it was magnificent. I've never seen anything like that on any kind of a critter in my life. And I've been on 3 continents on this blue marble, and I've never seen anything like that. Never seen it. It looked like fur, hair. I don't know, but it had all the colors of the fall leaves of the forest, even the dead stuff, the dead sticks, everything. He blended perfect. When the clouds went over the sun, he went right into like a black and white movie. When the sun comes sparking out, he started lighting up like a light bulb of all these colors. It was just unbelievable. I've never, how many are out there? I mean, some gave birth to that. So it's,
I mean, still pictures are kind of worthless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have info.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if there's anything else that you want to have Jeff put up. I think there was a footprint cast.
Yeah,
I think you've done some research with Dogman too, haven't you?
Well, I didn't want to. It just landed on my lap, kind of. And I don't know what this thing is. I poured its track. Some people say maybe the dog man. Some people say it's the lizard man. Some people, I don't know what.
I don't know. It is pretty clear. It is a very clear track. It's weird.
But what has claws at the end of the end of a human foot?
Yeah, it's
that's not a bear. Bears have the pads there before the claws, the pads, but this one don't. And like I said, I don't know what track is that. Like I said, it's unbelievable. It's a 3-toe.
I don't know.
It looked like his foot broken or something. After I poured it, I don't know. That's what I was hoping, that on your show that people would see these, and maybe identify it.
If you guys have any ideas, you can put it in the don't put it in chat, but put it in the comments, or put it in both. Actually, put it in the chat and the actual comments, the show comments.
And there, if you look closely, that's a human foot with 6 claws. And it's walking. It's bipedal. You see other 2 tracks beside of it. No, it's walking.
Well, the track's in line on this one. It looks like I can see the second one. It looks in line.
Yeah. One right in front of the other one. Yep.
Yeah, that's also pretty weird there, Richard.
I know. It's like welcome to Weird Ohio and Hocking County.
Although, it's so hard to know. Is that a double step bear track? Possibly. But I'm not that good at identifying tracks.
And what made this? It's like
this is odd.
Yep.
Jeff, what I
have no idea what that is.
It looks like it's got some talons that I wouldn't want to be.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I wouldn't want to tangle with.
Yeah, those are definitely some odd footprints.
Believe it or not, it has the human foot part of it on the bottom, but we couldn't get it because it stepped on a rock and only put the claws into the mud. So that's another one that's a cryptid that we poured that was down in the pit.
Now those claws look to be about what, 3 inches?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 inches long.
Yeah.
And we looked up every type of critter, the only thing that comes up is like Kane said, like a velociraptor's front claw or something. I don't know. Never seen anything like it. But these things here, one was heading toward the pit area and the other one was heading away from that pit area. So,
what kind of pit is it? Is it a mining pit? Is it?
It goes back in history. Really. I mean, they wrote,
Is there water in the pit?
Yeah. Fresh spring water that comes
spring
off the
water.
top.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
so you think it could be a source of drinking water?
Yeah. and they fish down there too. That's why I've seen those two logs together with the whole circle, and they've. But now it's a lot. But now it's become, thanks to the phone, and some people got around and they start taking pictures of the place, and everybody says, "Hey, come and look at this special place." Like, hey, let's not, okay? It's a special place because it's not commercialized. You know, you can still go there and get tracks of hopefully a Bigfoot and these cryptid tracks. But, you know, just like places like, well, you've heard like all the rest of them, Salt Fork, a lot of them, they're heavily commercialized. You can tell how many Bigfoot groups are in there. And plus you got people on horseback. You got people that's mushroomers, birders, ginsengers. You got them all. And you got to I try to find the areas still that are left pristine where people aren't agitating it. To where I tell my team, I said, if you want to you want to capture historical research evidence, we're going to have to capture him when we catch him in his element, where he makes noise. Because that's where that's where I do the ghillie. We go out there in the ghillie during earliest in the morning, and you stay out there all day, all night. Try to stay there all day the next day and all night, because you want the birds, you want the critters and everything all around you. And then when they sense this, I've noticed when the Bigfoot, when they notice anything, they go into a stealth mode, and you're not going to hear them. Regardless if he's 400 pounds to 1,200 pounds, you're not going to hear him. And that's why I got a team, because I don't need you for your ears. I need you for your eyes, because you're not going to hear these things come upon you.
Really?
No, you're not. That's why I tell my guys.
Have you had any incidents where you've been like in a structure, a cabin, or a barn, and you've actually had these things come up to the cabin and maybe bang on the walls or anything?
Let me show you something here, Doug. If I got it here close. Funny you asked that. That referring to that dog man questions you had. If you can see this, says 2018.
Yep.
I'm going to show you on this calendar here. This is how many times, or this is when the dog man showed up at our cabin when I was writing music for Atlantic Records.
Okay.
I've documented. This is January 2018. I'll move this thing up here so you can see it. Just to start, this is how many days he messed with me in January, if you can see that. Yeah. And then there's how many days they mess with me in February. I've documented it every day that whatever they've done. And then March. That's how many days they messed with me when they came back on March.
I want to see April.
Okay, well, April. Well, nothing. Okay. So, like I said, I've had this thing pee on our cabin all around it. It slashed both of our trees, one up by our steps going to the front door, and one at the end of our driveway. And I caught him. Out of all these days that you see in 3 months, I've only captured him 3 times on video. And the other two, shadows, you can see this thing coming up, but the last one is, you can see him. He's coming up to our front door of our cabin. He's standing on the ground, but he casts his shadow on the ground, and you can see it when he turns sideways. You can see his tail go up and down. You can see his hawk legs. And then just when he starts to walk away, he peeks his head around the corner up there where our front door's at, looks right at the camera. Looks right at it. And those are I never caught him since after that. And I haven't, he hadn't come back after that. So, like I said, I did a lot of that thing really, it's like they was working in shifts, keeping you up sometimes. You'd hear growling, deep growling, and picking at the windows, and then boom, you'd feel the cabin shake because it just jumped up on the roof, and now it in 4 steps, in like 35 feet from where he jumped up onto the roof, and now he's standing over our front door, up onto the roof, but you don't hear him jump off. So you can't go outside to get firewood. You just hope the electric ain't off too in the wintertime out there. So
all right, back, Richard, you got to back up. Okay, you're hearing something on the roof.
Yes.
You can't just say that crap casually. You need to get into some details. So you hear this thing. Okay, first off, if you're in a cabin and something leaps up on the roof, that's got to freak you out.
Oh, it did, because like I said, I was writing music for Atlantic at the time, and I had my earphones on, and I'm sitting there doing my thing, and all of a sudden, whoop! I felt my body bounce. I went, "Whoa! What the hell was that?" I thought, what, a tree break off and hit the roof? I took my earphones off, and I get out and I walk out to the sunroom onto our deck, and I'm looking around, and I don't see anything. I'm like, "What in the fuck?" What? I'm looking around. I'm like, what the hell was that? I don't see any trees down in my house. I'm like, well, what? Maybe something jumped, a coon or something. I don't know. So I went back in. I got back on my thing and doing this. And then as I'm trying to write a couple things, and all of a sudden I hear this like a ooh sound. I'm like, whoa. I go, no, that I'm really freaking out now. I'm like, what is that noise? It's like big roar, growl, whatever. Well, I heard it right through my earphones, and I shut the system down. I turned all the lights off, and I'm going to the curtain, looking out the window. I'm like, what is out there, And my heart's just racing, almost where you get that, that almost a sick feeling in you, like, whoa, because something big is outside, and it's not friendly. And
was this at night? Was this at night, Richard?
Yes.
Like late at night, or what time?
Yes. Usually, I slept mostly during sometimes parts of the day, and wrote at night where it was just peaceful, quiet, and it's like usually anywhere from 11 o'clock to 5 in the morning. The richest times are from 1 to 4. It seemed like with them, and or whatever they were, and okay. I was just freaking out.
Okay, so you hear it walking on the roof. What do you hear? How loud? What kind of roof do you have? What kind of roof do you have? Is it
just
asphalt? Oh, okay.
Single. Yeah, you can hear it. It's on a. We're on
Is
like
boom, slight, boom, boom, or
yeah, we're on a slight hill, and. Where if you're standing behind, it don't take a short ladder to get up on the roof. It jumped. You can hear it just go boom, and then you hear a boom, 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 and it stops, and it's right above where the roof is. The door is right here, and the roof. He's standing right here, just before the peak, but you don't hear him jump off, and then but I didn't know what it was at the time at first. I'm like, something big is out there, and it's on the daggone roof, and I'm freaking out because there's no way I can call out because there's no signal there. And if you did call for help, well, if you did get a signal out, well, it's going to be a long time for somebody to get you. And so I'm just, like I said, I was just freaking out. And
okay, how high would you have to jump on your roof?
On the backside, just your regular standard 8-foot jump from the ground to
just 8-foot, Jeff. Only 8 foot.
A mere 8-foot leap.
Yeah. A mere 8-foot leap. Yeah, I do it all the time.
But out front, it's like 14 foot, 15 foot to get to the spouting. Because like I said, we're on a hill. It's easier to get up onto the backside of the cabin than it is going up the front. But Yeah, it slashed, and I've got the recordings of this thing roaring outside, doing burst outside of our cabin. Just, you hear that roar, you're like, oh my God. You think, what is this? And then I finally seen what it was that came out. When it was the winter time, the winds are blowing, kind of hard. And I heard a roar off to the right from our cabin off our driveway. I go to the living room, look out the window, and off to the left, that goes up a hill. This thing comes running out of the forest. Look, just like lightning speed. It's like, and stops right at the edge. He's not looking toward me. It's looking up the hill at something. And this thing was slender, not real big and muscular or anything, just like kind of tall and lankety, but it had the dog head, and it was like dark. I was kind of black with a silverish type to it. And it didn't have a real big, long, fluffy tail. It had a fluffy tail to it, but it was looking up the road. And then all of a sudden it shot off, and I'm like, oh my God, that's what's out there? Oh my God. I was losing it. I'm a Bigfooter. I'm not used to seeing things like this. Oh no.
Well, what did you see, Richard?
Well, like I said, I saw that, that the dog man standing over there that came up the road, or came up the hillside and stood right there on the side of the road.
How do you know
right
it was
there
a
along
dog?
the trees?
Well, what did it look like? Can you describe it?
Well, it was like, it's not one big muscular like what people say. Oh, it was like tall and lankety. But it had the hawk legs. You could see the hawk legs on it, and you could see the tail blowing in the wind. And it was dark. You could see it had the dark arms and the dark head, and didn't have a real big long muzzle on it. Just like a regular dog's like maybe muzzle, but it had the silver. You could see the silver on its belly and going down the interior on its right leg when it was standing there sideways looking up the road. You could see it as a whitish silver, and it's like dark blackish color. Yeah. It's just like I'd never seen it. Like I said, it just freaked me totally out. Like I said, I didn't know what. I'm like, oh my Lord, so that's a good thing I had, a gun in the cabin. But I haven't, when these things did that to our cabin, I was thinking at the time, I said, is this thing calling me out? Or is he trying to say, get out? I don't know, but I never went outside to find out. All I know is I've captured him on film. I've captured the audio of this thing. And like I said, something gave birth to that. And then I got another picture of it. Well, like I said, picture is 1,000 words, but 30 yards away from me in the pit, I see another one down there. But here's the thing. When you see a coyote, it don't matter if you go to the next state or another state, you see a coyote, you see a coyote.
Yeah.
You see a rabbit, you see a rabbit. Well, when you see it, it's not the same thing you saw the first time. This thing is totally different. And you think, okay, something gave birth to that, and something gave birth to that, something gave birth to that. So they're not the same. So is somebody putting these things out there, to watch the public or what? I don't know. All I know is, hey, I got the tracks of these things, and I got pictures, and I got the video of this thing. But I need answers too. It's just I don't know. And I never shared this stuff, with the public.
Right. Jeff, do you have any more photos? People
No, that was everything.
Okay. So, all right. I'm going to mention it only because it hit me as maybe a good idea. Carl and some other people were saying, if you ever fart in the woods, stop and listen to see if a Bigfoot starts laughing.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's kind of funny. It would be almost funny if a guy brought a fart call to see.
You're gonna make Bigfoot laugh.
I
That's
mean,
a good
yeah,
idea.
to see
I like
if
that.
it's a funny idea, but maybe it would work. And to see if you'd get a response, like some kind of Bigfoot laughter. Anyhow, we're really going down in the gutter here. That's because I did some news, Richard, and there was something in space they called gas bullets or gas bullets. Was it? Or gas rockets. Something like that. Anyhow, so people in chat are they're telling fart stories. Here a guy volunteers. Go ahead and record some.
Gas bullets. They were
gas bullets. Okay, gas bullets. Anyhow, but I think that Bigfoots do have a sense of humor because I've witnessed it. They do things to scare you, to prank you. I mean, do you feel that too, Richard, at times, that they have a sense of humor?
I've heard the little kid laugh where there's nobody out there. And I've heard them make noise. I think they was bedding down or something on the other side of the hill from me, but they would make these little sounds, like you know how like you'd throw your voice, like you heard it from there, but it came from over there, and there's nothing over there, but then you hear it from over here, and then all of a sudden it's weird. I can't explain it, but they would keep making this noise until it got a little softer and a little softer. Next thing you know, they're not making the noise anymore. I don't know if they went to sleep or what. I don't know, but that's what they were doing. Some weird clicking sounds. Really weird. I mean, like I said, I'm not the expert.
But you tell these stories so matter of fact, Richard.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, whoa, back up.
Yeah. Just what happens, the way it happens is just like it just does something to you, like when a person gets gold fever, I suppose. Like I said, when you've lost good friends in a marriage, it's like nothing really much stands in the way, when you're like that, I suppose.
How often do you have activity when you go out? How often? I mean, do you ever have days where there's nothing or weeks where there's nothing?
Years
where
there's nothing.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm just waiting on, I stayed prevalent to the forest that I grew up and know.
Yeah.
And I notice any little change that'll come through, that I see it. And then, like I tell my guys, once you know that they're in the area or you see that they're in the area, there's your chance and probably only chance that you're going to be able to get anything.
Yeah.
What's it worth to you? You worth not going back to work for the whole week and get fired? Or are you going to stay the week out there and hopefully you get a historical photograph of what they call folklore and legends?
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing all my life. Not trying to prove to anybody, but just, I got to get a better look, a better shot of him, or a better, I just want to see more of him. Like I want to, if I wish I could have him right here, I could examine it and look at him, just to look at his facial features up close and all that, you know what I mean? So, but you're not going to get that. And because I tell, like the team, I said, what's the smartest man in the world? The person who can stay away from hidden from man. That's the smartest man in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. They're obviously, I'm sure you feel they're intelligent.
Yes.
What do you think they are? Do you think they're just flesh and blood, really smart, part human creatures, or do you think there's something else to them?
Well, what I see is just flesh and blood. I mean, it looks just like a bear. It looks like somebody out there foraging just like a bear does. It's just that they, like I told a couple guys, I said, if Bigfoot wants your attention, he'll get it. That's the same occasions where I've had people with me, and you're just walking down the trail, just talking away, and a log come flying over your head and crash. You're like, whoa! It's like, well, yeah, if he wants your attention, he'll get it. But I tell my guys, please don't do no whooping, and don't do no tree knocking. And he was like, well, everybody thought. I said, that's the problem. I mean, anybody else can do what they want. I said, but they got to understand. Like that old saying, monkey see, monkey do. Well, here comes the dumb human. There he is. I was sitting there going, communicating with my buddy across the hill, but all of a sudden he's over there and boom, 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 knocking away and whoop, whoop. Well, people don't understand that there's certain pitches and tones with those knocks and those whoops. And when you start whooping, they automatically know, well, here's the human. He just enjoyed in there. Well, we're going to have to get him out of here. But that's what I tell my guys, please don't whoop and tree knock. I said, don't be the monkey see, monkey do. Because if you're in an area and somebody's way on the other side of the mountain, you don't know it, and you're over there knocking and whooping, how do you know it's a Bigfoot or not?
Yeah.
So I tell them, please do not knock and whoop. It's like, and we noticed that when we went to Salt Fork that time. It's like, you heard them people up a tree knocking all over the valley. Like, good Lord. So I just got in the car, the truck, and I said, come on, guys, let's go. I said, this is ridiculous. But people, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. They can do whatever they want. I don't care. But my pictures, my research, and my evidence that I've gotten in the last 50 years, I think that helped by not doing all that. And because they don't really like change, or they don't really like anything. They don't like noises and lights and different smells that come in. You know what I mean? They get agitated about that.
Have you ever experienced the stink, the putrescine type smell that they seem to put off on occasion?
I have never smelt that.
You haven't?
As funny as it seems, I have never witnessed the odor that they talk about. Maybe
I think it's something they do. Yeah, I don't think that I think they're clean. I don't think they smell like that all the time. I think that they can do it though, because I have on 3 occasions now, actually 4, if I count going up to Randy's. We've tried to even trigger the stink to get them to do it, and we've had some strange experiences with this smell, but it's horrible, Richard. It smells like rotten flesh or a dead body, but it's not in the forest. It leaves then. You'll get hit with it and you'll be gagging and then it's gone. Yeah, I'm surprised. But maybe you don't piss them off. Maybe they're not agitated when they come across you.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I try to tell people, if you really, even though I got a team that I like to have eyes around me, I tell people you're going to get the best action, if you want action or whatever you want to try to capture the best you can, being out there alone, is being alone. Having a person with you is okay, but it seems like that they prefer you to be alone when they want to interact or let them be seen or whatever. It seems like they want you to be alone. That's what I've noticed. They come out when you're alone, not when you've got a dog with you or another person, or that's what I've noticed. But I haven't had any aggressions.
Have you witnessed rocks being thrown?
Yes. When we was pouring a track, and this fella Eric Tipton, he came running up and he was going, "Get back, somebody! I just got growled at." And all of a sudden, a couple of rocks come flying in. I said, "Okay, well, let's get the track. Let's go. Let's not hang around the area too much longer. Let's go. They don't want us here." So,
Jeff, I want to ask him about the hum. Elizabeth mentioned it. I was thinking about it anyhow.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard this sound? We're going to play a sound for you. In relationship, when you're out Bigfooting, you may not have paid any attention to it. Do you have it handy, Jeff? The Texas one, I think is
the Texas one from Carl.
Yeah. From Carl Sup.
Go, hold on a second.
Eric says my idea of fart calling is a good one. Oh my God, it's just silly, but all right, listen to this, Richard.
Here, I'll play it again.
I'll play the Snellgrove one, which is more subdued.
Sure. Give me a minute here. I'll pull that up. Gotta find it.
So we've been talking about this, but we've collected like 85 recordings now from people that do audio recording and with their Bigfoot research.
Okay.
All right, I got it right here. Give me a second. This is a loop.
It's not playing.
Oh, I'm in the. You know what? I was in the wrong one. Hold on a second. Try this.
There we go.
I got something close to that, but it's in a long 27-second growl.
Okay.
It lasts for about 27 seconds long. But that other thing he was talking about, I've heard the Bigfoot do a exhale, like a let his breath out. You know what I mean? Like a exhale, but strong, like a ground burst that come down low that hit you. That's about the only one that I've had.
Well, if you have anything even near it or you think would be interesting, get it to me. You can just send it in Messenger as an MP3, and I'll give it to David Ellis, who I think's in our audience. Unless you have it handy and you could play it. I doubt you do, but you probably don't have it handy, Richard.
Well, if I do, it's probably not going to do.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't want to screw it up.
But like I said, it'd probably be it wouldn't do any justice. It's like off a tablet.
No. If you could get it to me in Messenger or email, if it's not too big, that would be very interesting.
Yeah, I've got. There's another thing too that I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but some people call it a Genosqua, or some people call it whatever. I don't know what to call it. It's another one that's caught on live film, but I zoomed across the way and got it. You can see the picture. There's a white angle coming down in the center of the picture, and then you see a light up here. Well, this white line right here, that's the guy's roof over to his front door right here, and its head is about this high over top of this roof line. It's this high, almost hitting his head on the security light. I'll have to send you that one.
Interesting. Somebody, I think, Josh was asking, wonder what would make a Bigfoot smell so bad. Okay, so even gorillas produce a stink that they can produce and kind of spray it out of their apocrine glands under their armpits, and it's been described as burnt rubber and rotten meat and blah blah blah. And even George Schaller has just described the stink that gorillas put off, and so it seems to happen when they're irritated. Now we don't know where a Bigfoot would produce it. I call it putrescine because it smells like that. Putrescine is a chemical made by bacteria as it's eating flesh, like rotten, spoiled flesh. And so I call it Sasquatch putrescine, but we don't know. They may make it in their armpits. It may exude out of their pores. It's apparently very hard to get off. And we actually collected some of it. That's a long story. I don't want to get into all the details, but we actually collected it, and it got lost. The sample. It's just like, really? It was frozen, and it stunk. It was horrible gagging. And we collected it on plastic. Plastic absorbs odors really well. And anyhow, long story short, it disappeared.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard.
I wanted to have it. I wanted to have it analyzed because every smell has chemicals in it, you know, and if you could put it in a gas chromatograph and you could determine what are those chemicals. Could be quite interesting.
Yeah, I've heard, Doug, that how they get to activate that odor for whatever. This is what I've heard, that they eat a lot of clams, crayfish, and stuff like that to build that up in their immune system to secrete that oil that stinks.
Yeah.
And I was going, really? And I said, yeah. And they was telling me also that they said, and also for mating, they eat a lot of the fruits and stuff that secrete this other enzyme for mating. So that's, I know it's.
Well, somebody said they can project, SAS Saga said they can produce good smells, which is really interesting. And yeah, that's some interesting information that I'm going to hang on to. Somebody's asking about sebum collecting off flat rocks, porch railing. I don't know. I don't know anything about Stacy doing that. But I've been a proponent for collecting sebum. Have you ever seen the handprint on a vehicle, any of your cars, windows at your cabin, anywhere? A handprint?
Not on our cabin, but the two ladies that live, or not live, but they have a cabin that's up higher up on the mountain up there, and they came and told me that there was something around their place at night, and you could see on the back of their roof over built that was on the back, you could see that there was the finger parts. You could see the finger and the thumb. It was big. You could see where he leaned, put his hand there, but he was looking over their top of their camper while they were sitting there on their picnic table. He was watching them behind their camper on the roof over there.
Interesting. And what color were those prints? Do you know? Do you remember? What color were they? Kind of a whitish? Was it on a black surface or a darker?
It was like a burgundy colored metal roof. You could see where his fingers laid right on the top. His palm laid right there on the edge, but his fingers was right there on top of the metal. You could see it. We were standing on the hill looking down. Like I said, the hillside, looking down, you could see it. It's like, whoa, look at, he put his handprint right there. You can see his hand, his fingers. And like fingers like that long, like that wide in between each one. Just like you could see it. I was like, wow. And but the ladies up there, they said that they would come around their camper every once in a while. And I told them, I said, well, I think he's just watching out for you ladies or protecting you. I don't know. But they seem to. And then in the morning, after that dew went off of their plastic on the side of the porch, you could see where a big hand wiped the plastic on their porch. They went around filling the plastic.
Yeah, I think they're very tactile. I think they like to touch smooth, anything smooth, glass, painted surfaces, car bodies, windows. And that's an idea for anybody too, is to get some clear plexiglass or black or even a color like blue and put a square of it out in if you've got an area where you're doing gifts or whatever, lay it there. They might touch it and handle it and leave you some nice sebum and some handprints.
Yeah, I tell people, if you want to leave a gift, I always tell them, make something out of the forest. Go get a little vine. Yeah. Braid it real quick. Throw a couple little flower stems in, or throw something a little bit in it and bend it and loop it in and just hang it there. They get a kick out of that. They always take it. And they like the little shiny things. We had a little wind chime. It was only about that tall, a little novelty gift. and they took it off our tree. And then what was weird, in the wintertime, there's nobody out there, but you'll hear that little wind chime. You'll hear it over here to the right, over the hill. And then you'll hear it again off to the left, way over there. He's like, hey, I got your little toy here. Listen to it. I got it.
Whoop, you cut out.
When they do that little kid laugh thing. Weird.
You kind of cut out there in the last sentence, Richard. Can you repeat that?
We're kind of losing them.
Yeah, we're kind of losing you suddenly.
Up, like a signal.
There we go. We can hear you better now.
Like I said, it's a signal out down here.
It's been really good, Richard. It's been good.
We still on?
Yeah. You're still on. We hear you. If you want, if it's going,
your voices, but
if it's going bad, just go ahead.
Take things. Yeah, they took it, and you could hear it. Sometimes,
I figured we'd lose.
We lost him.
That was bad. We
got
the wheel of death.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many concepts of like why they stink, and I've heard so many stories. One of them that really sticks with me is when a guy claims he was running around the backside of his house in the dark, and his kids were in the back, and he went around the house to scare his kids. He ended up running face to face with a Bigfoot, ran into it, and bounced off it.
Oh, wow.
And he said the smell on his body and his clothing, his clothes had to be thrown away.
Wow.
He immediately got in the shower. He could not get the stink off.
Oh, wow.
It lasted like a day or two after he showered really well.
Thanks.
And his clothes had to be burned. They were so bad. And it's quite a story. And I heard it on Sasquatch Chronicles. And it's a story of a guy in Florida, and he ended up running into it, and it just stunk. It stunk his body so bad, but he smashed into the creature.
Wow.
So there you go. And I don't know, I don't know what could make it, but other animals produce stink without having to eat. Skunks, bears can produce, they all have glands. So glands can make some horrific smells.
Yeah, they can.
It has nothing to do with their diet. It's nothing. It has to do with their body chemistry and what I call a superpower, a supernatural power. Skunks have it. Fox can stink up an area. So it has nothing to do with their diet. It has to do with glands. And we as humans, we have glands under our armpits that smell when we get really mad, like or afraid, or we're about to get in a fight. We'll start smelling, and I think it's a survival thing. It's a repellent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can read up on why do humans stink at times. So there you go. That's all I know about it. Anyhow, hi Richard, you're back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I told you the signal is just.
No, it's fine. You've been great Richard, you've been great all night. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
but I know, like I said, I tell people that, regardless what they hear, or if you don't believe it, I've said them on a lot of my other times that I've talked out that I tell the public, if you don't believe me, I said, you want to see, I'll put you in these places where the dog man was standing, where the Bigfoot was, and all that. I will put you right there. I'm not like one of them ones that say, oh, you can't go to my research area over here. It's like, no, I will put you. I'm not saying that he's going to be there. He's not going to be there, but I'll put you right there where the highest activity that I've witnessed in the Bigfoot and cryptid and I have nothing to hide. Like I said, I'm a researcher, and I'm not into it for the money. Never have. I wish I had the money back that I spent in this field of this hobby, thousands of dollars in cameras and batteries and whatnot, and, but I found out the trail cam thing is just not working for me.
Yeah.
See, the trail cam is just lit up like a candle. If you look through it through a night vision, the batteries has got that thing hotter than Dick's hat band. You can see it's just lit up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I like to capture everything if I can on high 8 or old school, because it don't have the beam, it don't carry the heat. And but that's what I try to do, and then I just try to.
With that last week.
Oh, did I?
So Flat Rockland made a joke. This episode stinks. Very appropriate comment. Since we're talking about stink, yes. He's witty. He's witty. Anyhow, so what do you want to talk about, and what questions do people have? What do you want to talk? What do you want to convey to people? You got a whole audience here.
I just I just wish people would the skeptics got to see what they call folklore and legends out there. I don't understand when I got my booth at a Bigfoot festival.
Yeah.
And when you got people going by and they're going, I don't believe it. That's all a joke. Well, why are you even here, buddy?
Yeah.
This is not a Napa show. This is a Bigfoot show here. You want tools to snap on, getting your Google mobile and going up the road. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to just bring my research out and show the public, don't be scrutinized, because this is what's in your back door, whether you believe it or you don't. I'm not trying to make people believe it. It's just, I just wish that the person out there, the skeptics, that I want them to see this thing. I wish they'd see it. Then you'll know what all the fuss is about when you do see one. Because I've had people break right in on a conversation right at a conference and took the microphone and looked at the public and said, I am awfully sorry. I laughed at you people for years. And he said, I've been a farmer for 50 some years. He said, until the day I saw one on my tractor go across my field, and it wasn't nobody in a ghillie suit, he said. He said, I apologize to everybody here that I made fun of you people for years. He said, I'm sorry, and thank you very much. He gave the microphone back and got in the left. Like I said, it's all it's going to take, they got a body. The government's got one. Just go ask them. They do. You
think they do?
Yeah, they got everything else. I'm surprised they didn't get kill old Nessie and put her in a little pit. Stuffed it. So, well, like I said, they say there ain't no rules or laws out there, blah, 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 on the Bigfoot. Oh, yeah? Well, when people say, oh, yeah, it takes a body to bring one in. Okay, who's going to bring the body in? Because it states in the laws that if you shoot anything bipedal, you're going to prison. I guess that includes the Bigfoot. So if you shoot a Bigfoot, you're going to go to prison because it's a bipedal hominid. So why to say that there's no laws against, this? And why is the forestry spending money on Bigfoot signs? You see it in Nebraska, you see it in Colorado, you see it everywhere else. Bigfoot crossing, well, the state's paying for that. Well, somebody's believing in it, ain't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So what is probably the weirdest story you've either ever heard or experienced concerning Bigfoot? Is there something that jumps out? Either a story you heard from somebody you know, or another witness, or yours.
I really don't get out that much, Doug, or talk to a bunch of people. Like I said, I'm a dinosaur, and but but here lately I haven't been able to get out in the field because of my health. I had a double hernia operation. And then I had some kind of a cryptid thing or whatever it was, chased me up a tree. Then the branch broke. I come tumbling out of that tree, and I knocked three teeth out, cracked my skull from here up to my nasal cavity.
What happened? Tell us the story.
I got out of the truck because I wanted to check this area out. I thought, okay, well, I got the headlights on, aiming up the road piece here, and I thought, okay, well, there was activity here before, so I thought I'll just stop there and check it out. And I stopped and I got out. I got away from the truck, I guess, a little too far. And when I heard this thing roar, this growl thing, whatever, I'm like, oh, crap, I'm not going to make it to the truck. Because the truck's right about 40 yards away, I'm not going to make it. So I scampered up this tree. And as soon as I got about where I thought I was comfortable, this thing was already at the base of the tree, growling. And the thing was, it wasn't a big cat, and it wasn't a black bear, and he'd come up the tree after me. Well, whatever it was, it couldn't climb. It didn't climb up the tree, but it was going around the base of it, and then it went one direction, and then it'd come back, and it'd go around the tree again or two or three times, and then it'd go off in another direction and come back. And then I waited up there for probably, 40 minutes or so, another 40 minutes, just so it wouldn't come around, and then you'd hear something on the hillside. You're like, oh, I got to wait more. It's like, daggum, what is that thing? And because once you get out of that tree, he's going to have at it on you. It ain't going to be good. So, like I said, I waited there, a couple hours, 2-3 hours. And I finally come out of that tree. As soon as the branch gave out, down I went. And it messed me up a little bit. And no more tree climbing for me. And that's why I pack around my 45. This time I'm not going to get up in a tree. If I have to use it, I guess I'm going to have to use it. I don't really want to shoot anything out there. That's the only reason why I carry a 45, because some of these idiots out there, these homeless people, think they own the forest. The crazy people out there. Mm-hmm. And when you're out there deep. So like I said, it's just, you got to stay frosty when you're out there. You don't know who you're going to run into. I'm not really worried about the Bigfoot doing anything because it never bothered me. Just them cryptid things is what I got a concern about. Because where I'm going to look for Bigfoot, these things, it seems like they're running with them or running near them. That's what I've noticed in 50 years. I just want the Bigfoot back, trying to get as much information I can on him. And because I told somebody at one time back in the day that there's a difference. There's the Southeastern Ohio Bigfoot, and then there's the Southeastern Ohio Grassman. And they said, well, what's the difference? I said, well, the Southeastern Ohio Bigfoot, he has that long clumpy hair. And I said, the Grassman, he has that tight hair, a little bit longer than a horse hair, but it's tight, short. And you can see the big muscle mass, the big neck muscles and shoulder muscle bulging out off of him. And his face, he's got like our nose. He's got our top lip and kind of like our nose and our eyes, but his bottom lip is like kind of rounded, like a monkey, but not. It's hard to explain. But I told the person, I said, yeah. And they said, oh, Richard. And I said, I'm telling you. And it took me about almost 40 years, about 42 years almost to prove that again. Because I told them I saw one. And then 40 some years later, I finally got a picture of the Grassman standing up on the cliff up there at the pit. One shot, he come walking right up and he stopped facing me. You can see his facial features and eyes, where his nose, his mouth, and you can see his giant neck muscles, shoulder muscles, arm muscle. You can see it. It's plain as day. Like I said, one of a kind in the world. I'll never get another one, probably. But like I said, do
you want to see these things proven, or no?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Bigfoot's just near a household name. There ain't really there isn't really any much. I don't know why the science don't get off of it. I mean, your Bigfoot's out there, and so is his buddies. And like I said, I just tell people, if they don't believe, stay out there in the forest long enough, you can get away from that phone and that computer. You stay out there long enough, you might see something. But me, I don't have one of them. I call dumb phones or smartphones. I don't have them. I'm old technology. I just got an old dinosaur flip phone. Anything, if they take that away, well, if you want to contact me, send the carrier pigeon or send it by mail. Because I'm not one of them conform fellers. I'm not. I was born without that technology. I'm going to die without it. So
that's just fine. Jeff, do you want to throw up our email address? Your email address. So Joshua's got. He thinks he may have hit a Bigfoot with his truck. If you'd like, or anybody else would like to come on this show, we're going to throw up the email address in chat. And mine is just Doug at untoldradioam.com, and Jeff's is Jeff P at untoldradioam.com. Pretty easy. But yeah, if you'd like to come on and tell your story either all night or just even for a few minutes, we love it. We love it. You don't have to be like Richard and be on for an hour and a half. You can just come on and so no, we'd love to hear it. So anyhow, we're going to wrap it up, but I really appreciate you coming on, Richard. It's great to meet you. And I understand that you were a drummer, right? It's in your bio. It says percussionist.
Yes.
Is that a drummer? Is that what?
Well, drummer is just basically you're
just does drums, but a percussionist. What, like timpani? What's a percussionist?
Knows all percussion instruments, and because I read music, write music, sight read, and compose. I do all four.
Okay. Wow.
And I was writing percussion solos for Atlantic to use in commercials. And they said I came up with a new music genre because I made up sound effects and morphed them in the way I wanted them, and I lined them all up. And I said, okay, I want this one here, and here. And I composed all sound effects in the music. So I didn't get a chance to finish it because due to the laws now that you're not allowed to live supposedly in the campground. They don't want people, we're not even living. We're not even staying, actually, just going there for the weekend or whatever, but they won't allow that now. You're only allowed in there from 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. And that's the way I see it. If you pay your land tax there and you own the property, why aren't you allowed to be there at any time you want to be there? But it's just another one of them big land moguls are trying to push in there to get this campground and there's places out there that we have that they want to put in that new, well, like I said, down here in Hocking County, it's going to be another little Gatlinburg is what they're going to turn Hocking County into. And well, fellas,
Tourists.
Do you still ride bikes, motorcycles?
Yes, I haven't been able to ride in 2 years. I'm finally going to, this weather here is breaking. I'm finally going to get a chance to get on it and ride. I got a 2005 Electric Glide, classic, full dresser, quiet. I don't like to allow them because out here on these secondary roads, if you want to get in a bike wreck, just ride on these old back roads here and the dog will wreck you. He'll come right out trying to get your tires. But I really appreciate you guys having me on the show and let me
thank you.
Show the public, your public, these tracks, and maybe somebody has seen one or knows what that is, or that's what I want to know. And anybody wants to come out to the pit, I'm going to have another run here next month. I'm going to probably do it by maybe near the middle of the month. Well, it's not hopefully too hot. Anybody wants to come, it'll be on we'll post it on our Facebook on Ohio Cryptid Researcher .com on Facebook. It's a private thing. Like I said, I'm not one of them hit that like and subscribe, fellas. I'm not, hit that golden buzzer. I'm just me. I'm just a regular researcher. And like I said, I just got a lot of research evidence, and I just need to, since people wanted to see it, it's time to put it all out there.
Yeah.
So, and I appreciate you fellas for letting me do that.
Yeah, no, we appreciate having you on. Let's go ahead and do just stay put, Richard. We're going to do our wisdom of the week, and we will be right back.
Yep. Hang tight, everyone. Coming right back.
It's now time for Untold Radio AM Wisdom of the Week. Curiosity is the mother of all learning, because every discovery begins with a question. The moment we stop wondering, we stop growing. So stay curious, keep asking, and never be afraid to explore what you don't yet understand. Good night. We hope to see you all next week. If you like the show tonight, please consider giving us a thumbs up, leaving a nice comment, and most of all, subscribing and hitting the bell so you will be notified when a new episode is dropping. Also, please share this episode. Now, back to Doug and Jeff for our wrap.
And we're back.
And we are back. Thank you, everybody in chat. Lots of activity. We really appreciate it. And Joshua, get a hold of Jeff. And we'd love to have you on to tell your story about the strange animal you hit.
Mm-hmm.
Richard, you take care, and you see if you can get back on that damn bike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And get on that bike. I like to show the other people, too. One, I was bit by something up there at our water tower up there at our camp. Yeah, it was that wide. I got pictures of it. I'll have my wife send it to you. It had all fang points, and what has a 4-inch wide bite?
When did that happen?
That happened about 4 years ago. What has a 4-inch wide bite mark?
But were you awake when this happened, or were you sleeping?
Yeah, I was in my truck, and I dropped the flashlight. I just got off the phone with my wife, and I reached down to get it, and it was like bam! It hit me. It's like about threw me under the truck, and if I didn't have a hold of the steering wheel, it would have pulled me under the truck. And whatever bit me, it had all fang points, and it took 13 weeks to heal, and it never scabbed. It just healed to a scar, and whatever I put on it would not. I put triple antibiotic on it. It just run out around it. It would not stay on the wounds. So I don't know what that was. I've never seen anything that had a 4-inch wide bite mark.
Very strange. Sounds like we'll have to cover that in another night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, well, thanks everybody. We really appreciate it, and hopefully it cools off for everybody, including here. We need some relief. So we love you all. Thank you so much. God bless. We will see you all next week.
Yep. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
I call you up in the middle of the night, been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine.